Hey there, everyone. We'll get started here momentarily. Wanted to give you an update on our StormReady Alert Day, the dangerous cold that's still ongoing, and make it a little bit worse tonight because the temperatures are actually going to plummet even more. We are going to have some of those actual air temperatures well below zero, and we could even have some record low temperatures as we go into tomorrow morning. So we'll get started here momentarily. All right, now that we are ready, we're going to start with what our wind chills are right now. Very cold stuff across the area, but not nearly as cold as some spots in Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula where it's minus 36 in Ironwood, minus 33 for the wind chill in Green Bay. We are maybe in some spots seeing some of the worst wind chills of the day as we're at minus 24 in Flint, minus 21 in Houghton Lake, minus 15 in Bad Axe, minus 7 in Midland. Midland, you have very little to no wind, so it's pretty much taking the actual air temperature right now and saying that that is the wind chill. It's already minus 9 in Flint, minus 8 in Houghton Lake, minus 7 in Midland. So we're going to continue to see these temperatures crashing, which is kind of surprising to say when it's already this cold. So the actual thermometer is reading minus 9 in Flint and minus 8 in Houghton Lake. There is the potential that we have actual air temperatures in the minus teens to even minus 20s in some spots by tomorrow morning. And that's as those winds lighten. We have clear skies. We have fresh snowpack on the ground in this Arctic air mass well overhead. So that's going to lead and contribute to the potential of record cold lows tonight. Any small breeze that happens in those very cold conditions will contribute to extreme wind chill values. Those conditions are expected to improve tomorrow and also for our Sunday. Our current forecast low as we get into our Saturday morning is minus 14 in Flint. The record low is minus 13. That was set back in 1963. Just very surprising, shocking, cold weather. And one thing that we can kind of relate it to is just some of those extremely cold temperatures we've had recently. You actually have to go back to 2022 to see something as cold as it is expected to get tonight, where it was minus 14 on January 29, 2022. Then on February 17, 2021, it got down to minus 18. January 31st, 2019, it was minus 14. Same thing on January 30th. That was actually the last day we had extreme cold alerts. So wind chill watches and warnings issued was back in 2019, and it's going to be just as cold. Very similar air mass, very similar setup that we're seeing with this one right now. And then also back in December of 2017, we had minus 18 on the thermometer. Here are what we are expecting for our actual air temperatures tonight. So the thermometer will read minus 10 by tomorrow morning in Saginaw, minus 15 in Alma, minus 19 Gladwin and West Branch, maybe even minus 24 in Houghton Lake. Extreme cold. And any breeze is going to bring those wind chills down way lower than the actual air temperatures tonight. As we start the day tomorrow, we will be well down below zero. We will see those temperatures creeping up above zero just by a couple of degrees by noon with some sunshine in the morning. Cloudier skies later on. We get to a high temperature right around 6 or 7 degrees tomorrow. And then we're staying right there in the single digits for Sunday morning. We're jumping into the teens, but that's thanks to some extra moisture, some snowfall coming in from the south. That's going to contribute to some slightly warmer temperatures as we go into the middle and end of our Sunday. I want to take you through that snowfall because we do have varying model outputs on how much snow is actually going to be seen in our area. The best potential of accumulating snowfall still seems to be across Metro Detroit, with it trailing off pretty quickly here into our area. So 6 a.m. tomorrow, clear skies. We're going to have those temperatures well below zero. And then as we creep into our Sunday morning, there could be a few light snow showers across the south, Interstate 69. The majority of the snowfall that would likely occur is late morning morning into the evening hours on our Sunday. We could even have some lake effect snow flurries, snow showers right across Lake Huron shoreline and Huron and Sanilac counties, but that band is expected to be offshore by Monday morning. Here's a look at our current model output of the snowfall. Now we will probably have to move these numbers around potentially a little bit more here over the next 24 to 48 hours, but there could be a dusting around Alma, Midland, and also up towards Oscoda. Maybe about an inch to as much as 2 into Bay City, Saginaw, probably closer to 2 inches, Chesaning, Owasso, Caro, and Bad Axe, and then maybe 3 inches of snowfall down through Interstate 69 and into portions of Sanilac County. So the one thing with this system is any shifts in the track and any shifts in the moisture is going to either increase our snowfall or decrease our snowfall. Now, one thing that I have been seeing trend-wise over the last 24 hours is to pull more of this snowfall out of our area rather than push it further into it. So what's more likely with these snowfall totals are the lower numbers. So a trace to an inch, maybe 2, maybe 3, not necessarily the higher numbers that we're seeing in some of these snowfall outputs. Now, there could be a further reduction in the snowfall, but I would say any highest values are going to be right here on your screen, and if anything, we're going to have to potentially trend these numbers down. So I would not say this is going to be necessarily all that impactful snowfall-wise, but if you do get 2 to 3 inches of snow in the cold temperatures that we have, not only for our lows, but also highs over the next several days, it's going to be very hard to clear that snowfall. It's the fine, dusty snow that, you know, salt is going to become very ineffective here over the next several days because our highs are going to struggle to be anything but in the teens, and our lows are going to be anything but in the single digits. And some of those wind chills Sunday night could be -10 to -20. Some wind chills Tuesday night, Wednesday night could be -10 to -20. So we have several more of these nights ahead that we could be dealing with dangerous hypothermia and frostbite risk. So not just tonight. We have our alert day, yes, for today. If we are to increase any of those snowfall numbers, we'll probably go with an alert day on Sunday. But as of right now, I would say that's not likely just because of what we are seeing in the snowfall probability here over the Sunday to early Monday timeframe. So again, tonight is going to be potentially record cold. One other thing that I want to show you is, if you can believe it, 14 days ago, January 9th, it was 59 degrees here. That was a record high temperature. Tonight we go down to -14. That's a 73-degree swing. I know it's not in a few days, but one extreme to the other here in January, from record high temperatures to potentially record low temperatures being set out there tonight. So definitely down well below zero with the actual air temperatures. If you went out to your car and you started it, your thermometer would read probably below zero right now. I was just out at my car about an hour ago. It was already reading -2. It's probably even colder than that because we have the clear skies. We have this Arctic air mass overhead. It's just going to suck any of that warmer air that we were able to generate to get us back above freezing with some of that sunshine out of the air, and we're just going to see those temperatures plummeting as a result. So be prepared for extremely cold temperatures as we start the day tomorrow, and this colder weather is not going to get any better anytime soon. It will improve, but it's still going to be 15 to 20 degrees below normal for this time of the year for most of this weekend and also next week, excuse me. Answer those. If not, we'll wrap up this Facebook Live here momentarily. I do want to mention that, again, the trend overall in the snowfall potential has been favoring more heavier snowfall towards Metro Detroit, as opposed to, any of that heavier snowfall around here. But it doesn't mean we couldn't get an inch or two across the south, maybe into the thumb. I would say some of those snowfall totals I showed you a little bit earlier are some of the higher end totals. And I would say anything higher than that is not likely. It may fall right in that range of 1 to 4 inches from the Saginaw Bay down to the south. But overall, I would say the threat of significant snowfall is pretty low right now in our area. If you have any friends, family, or any travel down into Metro Detroit, they're probably going to get hit a little bit harder by that snowfall Sunday morning into the evening compared to, how things will be around here. So I'm not seeing any more comments. Going to wrap this up. I hope you guys are staying safe. Hopefully we can keep any power outages to a minimum. I know power outages, even though we don't have ice necessarily happening, strong winds necessarily happening, when the power grid is probably stretched to its limit right now with all of us trying to keep our homes heated, that can lead to just the system failing in some spots. So hopefully there are no power outages, especially with as cold as temperatures are expected to get tonight. Stay safe into tomorrow morning. We'll see better temperatures by the end of the weekend, but there still could be some below zero wind chills over the next several nights. That includes tomorrow night, especially Sunday night, and then, of course, a couple nights ahead into next week. So that's something we'll continue to highlight. As of right now, we're going to focus on this weekend. We're going to focus on the cold tonight and tomorrow morning, and then we're going to, of course, focus on the snowfall potential for our Sunday. So, as always, I appreciate you joining us on this Facebook Live. We will be back if there is another alert day. If there's anything impactful coming, especially the snowfall, we'll be back on air, online, and on social media with updates.